Hey out there, everybody. Welcome to another Coach's Corner. Hope you're doing great. Wanted to share something with you that some of you may have been living with and some of you may be causing out there. I was working with a client and we were talking about a change. And at this point, I was talking with a VP level person, and he was talking about what he considered a simple change. And he's like, "Oh, we've been talking about this for 3 weeks. Why aren't we there? It's a really simple change." And we'll call him John. John's not a bad guy at all. He's a pretty effective leader, and he's genuinely interested in learning. But as a lot of people that we work with, there is a disconnect between how long it takes to change something versus the perception of how long it takes to change something. Generally speaking, the further away you are from the operation, the further removed you are, the less understanding you have of what's really going on. So in his mind, this change was just change this, just this. But as we had started looking into it and we got the people involved, this change would actually impact about 35 people. And so from my perspective, I know that if I walk out there, or if he were to walk out there and just give them a new process and say, "Hey, here's your new process, do it like this from now on," it's not going to work. And historically, I believe in this particular client's case, that's what has happened. And so they've got all of these things that are half-baked, half-done, half-implemented projects, and none of them are finished. None of them delivered the results that they wanted, and none of them are still in place. So even though they've got the right ideas, they know the things that they ought to be doing and how they ought to do them to some degree. What they are lacking is the patience to let the organization figure out how to make it work and figure out how to overcome the challenges of changing something and figuring out what can we screw up over there if we change something over there. And so my coaching to him and my coaching to you guys is, look, you have to be patiently impatient, meaning the impatience comes from we need to always continue to figure out ways to do things safer, better, faster, cheaper. That's the nature of business. It always has been and it always will be. The patience comes from you have to recognize that when you're removed from an operation, you don't know the ins and outs and the daily details. Changing something isn't like a light switch. You don't walk through and flip the switch and everybody gets it. You have to give people, and this is the patient part, you have to give people time to digest it and talk about it and wrestle with it and think about it and run into obstacles and fix those obstacles. So it's a process. If you walk through and bark orders and say change this and fix that and hang a sign here and let's put a board there, you'll get all that stuff done, but it won't be effective. It becomes wallpaper. And it becomes frustration not only for you, but for the people who are trying to get their jobs done and make their boss happy who walks through and barks orders at them. So as you're looking at your processes, as you're leading your organization, recognize that every time you need to change something, if you think it's this long, it's probably, I can't get my hands in here, this long. If you think it's a week, you probably ought to assume a month. If you think it's a month, you probably ought to assume 2 or 3 months. If you want it to be effective. If you just want to get it done so you can put a check in the box and say it's done, then keep doing it. If you want to help your organization move towards a path of improvement, give them time to wrestle with it, give them time to figure it out, give them time to understand how to make it work, and give them time to make it work. That's the best shot you got. Hope this helps. Talk soon.